New at 5, a heartbreaking story out of Sheboygan. A baby climbed out of his crib, got tangled up in window blinds, and died. Kristen Byrne is live with more. Kristen.
Katie, Sheboygan Police say this baby's death was accidental, a traumatic experience for the baby's family and the caregiver, who we found out was friends with them, making this case even more tragic. This happened yesterday afternoon in the 600 block of North 27th Street in the city. Police say the one-year-old baby boy was napping in a pack and play, climbed out and suffocated after getting tangled up in the window blind cords. The caregiver and her husband didn't want to be on camera, but says the woman watches their friends' kids, including the baby who died. Police want people to be aware of this potential danger in your home.
If you have any cords hanging down around your windows, they are shown to be dangerous from children, not just yesterday, but in the past, and we would really like to prevent that from happening in the future.
This at-home daycare does not have a license, we found out, but by law, that's not required unless you watch more than 3 children. Her husband telling us that the woman only watches a couple of kids. We are waiting for any more information that might be revealed in the autopsy report. But again, police telling us this was accidental, not criminal. Live in Sheboygan, Kristen Byrne, today's TMJ4.
All right, very heartbreaking story. Thanks, Kristen.
More news now. Live at 5, an arrest today in one of the most baffling and sadistic crime sprees of the 1970s and 80s. A string of at least a dozen slayings and 45 rapes in California by an attacker they dubbed the Golden State Killer. Authorities say a DNA match led them to 72-year-old Joseph James D'Angelo, a former police officer.
We found the needle in the haystack, and it was right here in Sacramento.
D'Angelo was never considered a suspect until just 6 days ago. Nearly all of the rapes and homicides between 1976 and 78 occurred right there in the Sacramento region, that followed by the rapes in the Bay Area and more murders in Southern California.
Incredible video now from the scene of a massive apartment fire. It shows a wall of scaffolding 5 stories high collapsing in a matter of seconds, crushing 4 parked cars. The building was under construction at the time of the fire. Hundreds of people living there and nearby were evacuated and remain out of their homes amid fears that the whole building could soon collapse.
A family spokesman says former President George H.W. Bush is out of intensive care at a Houston hospital. He fell ill just a day after his wife's funeral. The 93-year-old former president's been moved to a regular patient room. He's expected to stay at the hospital for a few more days. Mr. Bush being treated for an infection that spread to his blood. And former President Bush got quite a bit of attention for some socks he wore to his wife's funeral. Those socks were decorated, as you can see, with books. It's a tribute to his late wife's work promoting literacy. Turns out those socks are made by John Cronin, a 22-year-old New York man who has Down syndrome. With the help from his dad, they helped their own company get off the ground, John's Crazy Socks, just 2 years ago.
So happy I hear my superhero sock.
When we saw that picture, it brought tears. You know, for me, it's that special bond between my son and a former president.
They sell tens of thousands of pairs of socks every year. 5% of all proceeds go to the Special Olympics. Half their workforce, 15 people, have special needs. An
amazing organization. A dip in temperatures today. Will they go back up soon?
Brian Goddard in the Storm Team forecast just ahead. And wine lovers, listen up. The reason you might pay more for your favorite bottle of Burgundy. Consumer news now. Get ready to pay more for your favorite cheap wine. Global production fell to a 60-year low last year because of poor weather conditions in Europe. That means prices are likely to go up. Italy, the world's leading winemaker, followed by France and Spain.
A cooler but still nice day around here.
Let's see what's going on tonight. Brian Goddard is in with the Storm Team forecast.
That wind today, brisk. I can't believe I'm saying that after, remember, a week ago today, it was snowing heavily.
Stop it.
Okay, that's it. That's all I have to say. Since then, though, it's been warming up, and you have to like a cold front that only drops you down to 50 degrees. That means I think we've turned the corner here. Yeah, it's brisk outside, but still, when you're holding into the 50s this time of the year with a cold front, not bad at all. That wind I was talking about, you can see little ripples on the river out there. It has been blustery at times, over 20 miles per hour. The temperatures dropped to 48 in Waukesha. The east wind now around 10. but you're still seeing some of those higher gusts around the area. Things are quiet around the Badger State. Hardly a cloud to be found, maybe up towards Superior and the Duluth area at the next storm system that's coming in. There's a storm system to our south that's bringing rain to Missouri and to Kansas. Will not be affecting us. The cold front from last night is pushed off to the east. It got windy last night. And then this storm system will bring us some clouds later tomorrow evening, but most of the day tomorrow looks to be just sunny. Temperatures as we're speaking running about 10 to 16 degrees colder than they were this time yesterday when we were in the 60s. It's currently 45 in Milwaukee, 44 we're seeing. Then you get inland, temperatures in the mid 50s, still holding on to 60 in Madison, but this time yesterday they were at 72. Here's what the current wind gust looks like out of the northeast between 10 and 22 miles per hour. Wind starting to die down a little bit in the inland areas, and they will die down quickly this evening. They'll become calm sometime after 8 o'clock tonight. Mostly clear and 41 by 8 o'clock. A chilly start to the morning, 35 degrees, a light southwest wind, but that southwesterly wind and that sunshine will warm us up to 60 by noon and a high temperature tomorrow of 62. So a big warm up tomorrow thanks in part to that southwesterly wind coming around this area of high pressure tomorrow. So even the lakefront should get close to 60 degrees with no lake breeze. This next front slides through tomorrow evening. Should just be a few clouds, and then another storm system comes out of Canada pretty quickly. It could bring us some scattered rain showers Friday afternoon, maybe even a rumble of thunder. I'm glad tomorrow is going to be some great weather. Just think, like I mentioned a week ago, it was snowing. Myself and 17 other golfers are taking part